Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Totalbiscuit here with a very quick demonstration of something you probably haven't seen before, and I am joined by the man whose name I always have difficulty pronouncing. Please say I'm right. Reinhard Pollice?
Pollice, yeah, it's right, Pollice.
Yeah, from Nordic Games.
Welcome. We are seeing it right now. Painkiller, Hell and Damnation, which is our new installment of the Painkiller series. Painkiller used to be a popular shooter in 2004's time, but it's still known for its old school gameplay. So you pretty much have straightforward action, like in games like Serious Sam's, Hard Reset, Will Rock, and so on. So there are quite a few games out, and it basically recreates like the original feel of Quake and Doom in the 90s. So what we see is like I'm using a shotgun. Like all the weapons in Painkiller have 2 fire modes. So by right click I can have a freezer where I can freeze enemies and then shoot into pieces. And yeah, it's all about shooting. So as you can see, yeah, so
violence, nothing but violence in this one. So
yeah.
What kind of improvements does the Hell and Damnation edition actually have over the original?
Yeah, I mean, the graphic is totally new, totally like everything was created from scratch with reference of the original one to like don't lose the unique look and feel of the like original game. And yeah, we added a couple of new multiplayer modes. I mean, the story like is not the same as in the original, so it kind of comes after the story of the original Painkiller. And yeah, we have like here, for example, these are boss fights in Painkiller. So these monsters, and wow, you still have to fight them, but the boss fights they are changed in the way they are played. So this room is actually pretty nice because as you can see, I have a lot of these barrels around, so I can use to like shoot them, and they will create some nice explosions actually, which will kill enemies, of course.
How accurate are the physics and the movement based to the original game? Because that was something a lot of people really liked about the original Painkiller.
Yeah, we tried to like make it as accurate as possible. In some way, we could do even more physics-based effects, which is like just simply cool, yeah, for the whole game. And yeah, this is just some nice stuff and some nice explosions and so on. Yeah, this weapon is actually totally new. We call it for now the Soul Catcher. It has this spinning blade. I can shoot even enemies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is the original Painkiller weapon actually in the game?
Yeah, it's actually in here, but this is like not the final look. It's just like some first iteration because we're still at an alpha stage of the game. But we have a good development cycle, you know, that we can like bring in changes quickly. Oh yeah, this is like...
It's getting a bit hectic, as they have a tendency to do in this game.
Yeah, yeah. Usually I can also probably turn on the sound. So in the background you're always listening to like straightforward hard rock and metal music, which is kind of create a nice feeling for, you know, shooter fans.
Oh yeah. You can't have a Painkiller game without some really good rock and metal in the background.
Yeah. That's totally right. And you still have to, I mean, the best kind of way to play the game is like to just use the bunny hopping mechanics, so to just like space around and just try to avoid enemy attacks like I do now, which is going to be pretty hectic, yeah?
Yeah, gain a lot of momentum via the use of jump and strafe jumping.
Exactly
and things
like that, yeah.
Just like the original game. What kind of extra content can we expect in this one versus the original, aside from the multiplayer modes?
I mean, every level is totally different than it was in the original one. So you have like new secret areas to discover, and I mean, like also the enemy approaches are different. So it totally plays like a new game, I would say, yeah.
So it's essentially a reimagining of the original.
Yeah, reimagining or reinterpretation, I would say. Yeah, that's the right word, I would say. But still, like, you know, being in the same setting and like, you know, that you play in familiar levels that actually look familiar, but like totally modern and, you know, recreated. Yeah.
Now, you're not the first to try and make a new Painkiller game, and unfortunately, there hasn't been an awful lot of luck up to this point in recreating this. So, what have you done differently?
You mean the small installments that were done like
yeah,
from
absolutely.
I mean those games that were just like based on the old engine, and they were like from the feature set they didn't offer much more. They just offered like plain action pretty much, yeah. And we are like it's a modern shooter, yeah. So you can expect like in multiplayer, for example, new game modes. In single player, it's totally recreated experience. And yeah, the storyline is different. The story presentation is different.
So I suppose the last question I really want to ask you about it from a multiplayer standpoint, the original game actually did have a competitive scene for quite some time. Are you doing anything to support competitive play in this version of Painkiller?
Yeah, I mean, we have been, the competitive scene is very important to us, and so we want to do everything to support them. So we are right now in talks with a lot of like organizers of tournaments and leagues, and we're going to make sure that there is a support like there. And in terms of like the multiplayer does support all the features needed for having that. Yeah, so I think we're on the right way with that. And yeah, the original Painkiller used to be really popular, being featured on the CPL series, right? So yeah.
Fantastic. We could see a revival of that one. And I suppose the last question would be, do we have an estimated release date for this game?
It's actually October this year, so pretty soon. It's still some stuff to be polished, and we're October.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for showing us this very sneaky peek of Painkiller, Hell and Damnation. That's HD. My name has been Totalbiscuit here from E3, and I'll see you next time.